Hello, everyone. I guess we can start now. My name is Lily. I'm from FundingBox marketing team. We are happy to have you here on the 13th session of FundingBox Continuity Day initiative. And right now we are starting a webinar, Sustainable and Efficient Construction site during post-COVID-19. So before starting the meeting, please mute your microphone. And if you will have any questions, please write us in the chat and speakers will reply after the presentation. Thank you. So the current situation has shown that construction companies need to accelerate the processes of digitalization of the industry so that similar uncertain situations will not stop them in the future. And it's important to accelerate efforts for digital transformation, and changing strategies and plans should become one of the main priorities of companies in the coming months. So during this session, Lafarge and Propergate will showcase their solutions. They will talk about cooperation, sustainability, and efficiency, and the successful road to digitalization of the industry. So let me one by one present our guests, speakers of this webinar. So first one is Anna Walkowska. She is a Chief Technology Officer, business developer, co-founder of Propergate and several startups initiatives in Poland. She previously worked as an IT security expert. Anna graduated System Administration and Network Programming at Polish-Japanese Institute of IT and Management in Telecommunication at Warsaw School of IT. Robert Grudzień, Chief Product Officer, Sales Executive and co-founder of Propergate. He's associated for the past 9 years to the real estate and construction industry, and for the last 6 years, Robert was working as a quality and warranty manager in HB Reavis, Poland. He's also a startup advisor and certified PM with primary focus on digitalization of construction. Marcin Mądry is a marketing director of Lafarge Poland. He joined the Lafarge Group in 2007, where for the next 7 years he worked in the area of strategy and development. He was leading strategic projects in Poland and Central Europe. He graduated of international relations at the Warsaw School of Economics. And the last speaker is Alessandro Tofani. He's a 10 years experienced manager in digital strategy, commercial transformation, and his profile is completed by a triple degree program in BA from University of Turin, ECCP Europe, and London City University. So after 5 years of experience in financial consulting in PwC, Alessandro joined in Lafarge whole team. And now he leads in Poland the strategy and digitalization, spanning 360 across all of the organization. So welcome you. It is really nice to have you here. Hello.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
So who would like to start first? Hello.
Oh, hello. Maybe I will start with the agenda. We would like to tell you about Lafarge, about their strategy and building for growth. And this will be Marcin Mądry, marketing director. He'll be speaking for 15 minutes. After that, I'll be talking about our Propergate story of growth. Later, we will have together one presentation with Alessandro and Robert, my co-founder, talking about the collaboration that was born at the Impact Accelerator. And then we'll have 15 minutes for questions. So I'll now ask Marcin to start his presentation.
I think his camera freezed.
Yes, I think so.
Hello, Martin. Can you hear us?
What I propose, guys, before Marcin joins back, maybe we can start with Propergate presentation and then do Lafarge. What do you think?
Fine with me. Okay. So I'll share the slides.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you see me now? There's some audio connection issue.
Yeah,
That's great.
It's fine.
I'm unable to share the screen.
I will share the screen, Marcin. Wait a second. Okay. Do you see the screen?
Yeah, sorry for this technical issue. Actually, when you think of construction and innovation, these two words don't often go together. And most likely sentence you are to hear is construction is the least innovative of the industries. We, Lafarge, are the leader of Lafarge Holcim are the leader of the construction materials in the world, and we do our best to change this perception and look at the situation as it is more as an opportunity for a change than a disadvantage.
Sorry, Marcin, we cannot hear you now.
75 countries all around the globe. More than 70,000 people employed with more than 2,000 sites operating there. Publicly listed company on Euronext and 6 stock exchanges with the annual revenue of 27 billion. Maybe just to clarify the two names we are using, Lafarge and Lafarge Holcim. In 2015, there was a merger between the two biggest construction material producers, Lafarge and Holcim, and the group Lafarge Holcim was formed. Still, we use the local old names of Lafarge and Holcim in the local markets due to their brand equity in each of the markets they're present in. Alessandro, are you sharing?
Yes. Okay, I'll share again. Now should be okay. Okay.
Go to the next one. We are operating in 4 segments: cement, aggregates, concrete and solution and products, being the globally present leader in all of them all around the world. Can you move to the next one? But we're not only the supplier of materials, we are the partner for construction companies in creating the world around us. We've been partnering with in construction of some of the most iconic projects in the world. There are some samples you see on the images: Philharmonics in Hamburg, Louis Vuitton Museum, One Trade Center in New York, or Philharmonics in Berlin, or the Museum, the one on the left bottom, in Marseille. Go to the next slide, please. We are not only the largest construction materials producers, but we want to be the most innovative one. Our R&D center in Lyon is the most sophisticated facility in the industry. We have a network of labs, technical centers around the world, but most importantly, we rely on partnering with people who have great ideas to transform the world around us, with academics, with customers, and with startups, and that will be part of the story we want to present today, because we believe that to change something, we need to get the people who want to make this change on board. The next one, please. I didn't want to spend too much time talking about the company itself, because what's much more important is the environment we are facing. We observe four major trends that shape the world around us, that shape the construction market. And it's, first of all, urbanization, megacities. World population is growing, and it's growing especially in the large cities. So there's a lot to be built. At the same time, we observe a decreasing availability of labor, the growing cost of labor, young people not willing to work in the industry. So there is a huge need to automate, to increase the efficiency if you are to meet the challenges of the growing population. The third element is sustainability. Now, the COVID situation, we probably partially forgot that we entered this year with a massive crisis with fires in Australia, which is just a peak of the iceberg, and we need to act differently, not to bring the world to the edge of collapsing due to the global warming. Finally, there is a huge opportunity and huge change in the digitalization of us as a people, but digitalization entering the construction sites, entering the raw material factories. That's starting, and it's the future that we cannot escape. Alex, move the slide, please. To answer these trends, everything we put on the market, we want to address the two major things. We wanted to increase the efficiency of the construction process and to be a sustainable solution. Just to give one example, recently, as a first company in the world, we've launched a concrete with the remarkably low CO2 footprint. Additionally, giving the customer opportunity to offset the carbon footprint emitted, so that the net emission of the building is zero. To finalize this short story, as I want to give the most time possible to the joint discussion with Propergate, I would like to mention just one thing that Lilia started talking about, the crisis. In 1920s, the world entered into the era of innovation, urbanization, of the huge optimism after the World War I. Yet this decade ended with a crisis. Now we are starting the decade with a crisis, both the COVID crisis and the climate crisis I mentioned. So we have some years to reverse this trend and make 20s of the current century much better than the ones 100 years ago. And as one of the people responsible for the innovation fund in the European Union said, let's take this opportunity when everyone is more open to the change in this crisis situation to bring Europe out of this crisis as much more competitive and much more green economy. And construction is the key element to change if we are to do that. So thank you for Funding Box for organizing this event, and I would like to invite Propergate to present us their vision on how the construction industry can change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin.
Yes, please go on, Anna.
Yes. Oops. So fast. Okay. I would like to share with you our story, how Propergate was growing for last 2 years. We have started with discovering the problem of the construction industry, and the problem was related to costs of logistics on construction site. Because of many challenges with communication, there were lots of understanding between general contractors and subcontractors. Usually on big projects, there's a huge bureaucracy. It's very paper-intense business where are many procedures and really one material that has to be delivered to the site requires about 50 sheets of paper, and imagine that you have thousands of those materials, so they really have to produce lots of paper that could be digitized. On top of that, you have they have over 100,000 deliveries that have to be coordinated, but guess what? They are not. They're really out of control. And on average, high-rise buildings, which we are targeting, loss between $5 to $35 million per project due to inefficient logistics. You can compare it to airports without a control tower. They also have arrivals, departures, like on the construction site, but construction sites don't have the control tower. So we were thinking how we can actually solve it. And we've created an application that is a smart construction logistics collaboration platform that automates delivery management and internal transport. We are targeting general contractors who are our customers, but the main users of the applications are subcontractors communicating with a logistics coordinator. And when they are using the application, they can ensure just-in-time availability of materials for the tasks that they have scheduled. And as a result, they can reduce the risk of project delay, and many millions can really stay in the right pocket. So on many projects, we have introduced the control and the coordination of deliveries. So actually from 0 to 95%, that was the achievement. And for those procedures that were very time consuming, we reduced the time from 480 minutes to just 60 minutes a day, and reporting, which was very time consuming because all the data had to be prepared manually, was reduced to 30 minutes a month. This is how the application looks like. It's very simple. We were thinking about the users on the construction site, so it should be really very user-friendly, but also adapted to a situation when they are working in a full sun, so the dark screen is is the response to this, and it's a web application. However, it's responsive to the screen, so it can also be used on the mobile devices. We have several roles in the application. You can think of it as a platform for logistics coordinator, who's like the boss and is coordinating everything. Then subcontractors, so the main users, quality inspectors, which are especially used in the Middle East, where is one of our projects. Equipment operators like crane or forklift operators, they have their agenda, so list of deliveries for today. Gatekeeper, who's checking in and checking out the deliveries at the gates, and the drivers. Later, you will see the extension of this roles that Alessandro will describe. Some of the projects that we are implemented on, Uptown Tower in Dubai, that was our actually first big project. In Poland, one of the projects is Generation Park by Skyska, and the knowledge that we were able to get at really huge and impressive project was Royal Atlantis on Palm in Dubai, and that's also the project Basics Group or Six Construct, where as a result with this knowledge that we received, we were able to support the Dubai Uptown Tower project. Results of having the solution on the site is for general contractors, but also for real estate investors, for subcontractors and suppliers. The most important ones are really the timeliness of the project, transparency of information, because everyone can see availability of equipment, whether material arrived and can be used for the tasks. Quality of project can also improve because we also help with the right data for the right people, so they can make their decision much faster. And control for general contractors over subcontractors is priceless, as our customers say. So we could say that by digitization of this part of the process, the companies are much more efficient with higher quality, and they also gain on competitiveness. During our journey for last 2 years, we had a chance to be selected to top 50 or to top 25 best construction startups, including American Build World Insight from Chicago, Contact Map and Build World in Germany, Cemex Ventures with Boston Consulting Group and Trucks, and PropTech House in Belgium. And actually, when we started, even without company, when we just had the idea to actually build the product, we were already awarded by European Parliament in 2017 as top 50 EU startups. This is our team, Rafał, Robert, and myself. We are all, I would say, not, our background is very mixed. Yeah, it's a mix of technology, a mix of business, mix of construction knowledge, and this is like the perfect mix to build such a product, because we know how to talk to our customers, we know how to build the technology, and we know how to sell it, although we are not sales professionals. But I think that with our passion, it helps a lot, and our customers just enjoy working with us. We also have fantastic business angel investors and advisors, all coming from real estate industry and also from the suppliers side, like Pavel, and we are super happy to work with them. We are bold enough to say that we would love to become the standards for the industry. So when someone will be thinking about a new project and all the problems related to logistics, they will think, okay, we have to have Propagate. And we hope that the partnership that we are now preparing for with the leading construction and engineering cloud solution provider will help us in this achievement. So thank you very much from my side. Now I will give the mic to Alessandra.
Hello, everybody.
So will you share the slides, Alessandra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see the slides? Hello.
Yes, we can see the slides. That's okay.
Okay. So actually, already before meeting meeting the Propagate team and deciding to start this open innovation, let's say, experience with Propagate. A lot of challenge in the day-to-day business with our ready-mix clients and with our internal team. From the customers, let's say, side, we had communication issues. So there was sometimes there was a miscommunication between where the ready-mix truck was and when did it left the plant, when will it be on site. Sometimes there was no tracking, no evidence for orders change requests, because sometimes the client was doing it by email, sometimes was doing it by phone call. It was difficult for our operator in our plant to manage the situation. But the worst element was the loss of delivery notes. So the hard copies of the delivery notes that from the client side and from our side. And this was obviously generating problems in terms of invoice verification and lost time. In terms of our challenges, from an internal perspective, we had, let's say, obviously paperwork was one of the biggest issues. Just to give you an idea, every year only in Poland we print 1 million A4 sheets of paper, because for each truck we deliver, there is a delivery note which is produced and has to be signed by printed in 4 copies and signed by 4 different people. Sometimes it happened that after a couple of months we were looking for proof of delivery and we could not find it, and this is making the claim management process more difficult. So together with Propagate, we had the idea to add to their let's say on-site logistic management tool, a new model for managing concrete deliveries at construction site. Four main, let's say, expectations from our side: improving the communication between construction, let's say, between the construction site, so the logistic coordinator and the concrete plant. Moving from let's say 1 million copies per year process to a zero paper process, enhancing e-signatures and allowing remote access to platform, both from the client side and from our, let's say, operator side. So especially in the COVID, in the pandemic times, this would allow, say, to keep social distance in the business relation with our clients, reduce delays in delivery, and time saving for all the stakeholders in the process, and improve the efficiency in the let's say scheduling process. Because the client we were expecting from the client and from our teams to have a complete, let's say, planning tool with the possibility of changing real time. So that is why we created, let's say, we created the 3 new roles in the Propergate system. One role for our plant operator, which was sending the let's say one role for the client, for the logistic coordinator at the job site. One role for our plant operator, which is supposed to approve and manage the order, and one role for the driver. Additionally to this, a role for our client, which can by remote check if everything is, if all the concrete delivery process is happening as scheduled on site. Oops, something happened here. Okay, I'm back. So now, maybe Robert or Anna, if you could say something more about the flow of the application.
Maybe, Robert, you could tell how we actually got to this point about the first meeting that we had with Lafarge team to discover what actually should be the flow. You're muted. Okay, there's some problem with your mic. We can't hear you. Okay, then I'll tell. We had to understand. We always have to understand, you know, how it works, how the company works, what are the problems, and we organize a workshop with our customers, potential customers, asking them many questions, you know, to explain us the entire process. So then we go deeper into real problems that sometimes they don't even are aware of, and during the conversation with many people, we can identify many issues that were initially not even there as the main reasons why actually we want to do something about this digitization. Go back. Okay, so that's the end result after our meeting. So we decided that what you see here, the yellow boxes, are current features that we have already in the application. We had before we started collaboration with Lafarge. Green ones are those which were developed to support this process, and the green yellow are those which we had to modify. Actually, just one one part of the application. So we came with support for weekly concrete delivery requests that we had in our application, but we wanted to help our customers to get more information, to be in contact, direct real-time contact with the plant. So the idea was to have information exchange instead of by phone or by email, just to send automatic notification to the subcontractor asking to update or confirm the final order the same day when it should start, for example, 1 hour or 2 hours before the truck should be sent. And then in the mobile application, the subcontractor would just click that, okay, I confirm. And then the plant operator would, with this confirmation, would be able to click his button, sending truck. So then, in mobile application of the driver, he would get information that this is the delivery card, you can go to this address. So the driver would not even have to go to the room where the plant operator is sitting. He doesn't have to take any documents. He has everything on his mobile phone. So when he will leave the plant and will arrive to the site, he will also be tracked. So we will have a timestamp of the location and the time. And the driver can either self-checking at the gate if there is no security guard, or security guards can use our existing solution to register check-in, and based on mobile delivery cards that the driver has on his phone. And then the driver would start the unloading and also click that start and stop. So we also have time how long the unloading was, how long the unloading took. And then we have the step of quantity and quality check with electronic signature and optional claim request. So all the information that so far was just written on the paper with a pen is registered in the application. So nobody has to sign anything and keep the paper, it's everything online. So when the truck leaves the site, again, either self-checkout or checkout by the security guard. And when the truck returns to the plant, it will also be registered. At the end, the digital delivery note will be generated in our system with 2 signatures of the plant operator who sent the truck and the subcontractor, so actually the customer who accepted the order. After we designed this process, if you, Alessandra, could click the next slide, thank you. We had to prototype the entire application. So here you can see lots of mock-ups that we have designed and presented to Lafarge. If this is correct, how we understand the entire flow, and they had the chance to just go through the application before actually it was developed. And yeah, they gave us green lights and we started development. And next slide, please. As a result, we've created 3 products. So the interface for plant operator at Lafarge plants, and job site coordinator, which is the Lafarge customer. We call them subcontractors in our application, and the driver. So they all had dedicated interface, dedicated application, plus the job site coordinator also got notification by text message, so he can just click the link to get the right information about the delivery, to confirm or update information. Next slide, and Alessandro, it's you.
Yeah. So in terms of, so we had for the last month, we've been testing the solution on small and medium job sites. Obviously, in a very small segment of our clients. So we were able to deliver via the application 40 cubic meters via 4 trucks, and deliver to 3 job sites of 3 different clients. First 3, let's say, quick wins were the reduction of paper consumption to 0, the transparency of completed deliveries up to 19%, and the confirmation that the flow of the application works. And once again, starting from the planning and ordering placement from the client, acceptance from our concrete plant operator, and which is responsible for starting production and sending the product to the job site, to the driver, which starts the trip and analyze and confirms the after the transfer, confirms the delivery of the product at the job site via the possibility for the client and from the operator to see the generated proof of delivery after the delivery. The next steps, which we will have in the next couple of months, will be the integration with our production and dispatch system, testing and implementing it in large job sites after the integration, and scaling once the project is confirmed and approved, scaling to the remaining 20 ready-mix plants in Poland. So just to summarize, it's been 8 months of very intense cooperation. Ready-mix concrete seems quite a simple, from the outside, seems quite a simple business, but in terms of exceptions and in terms of ordering process is quite complicated. That is why the mapping that Anna talked about, with the mapping of our and client needs, plus the mock-up process and the co-development phase, ending with first tests, was fundamental for the success of the project. And obviously, what was fundamental was support of Funding Box, and which helped both in terms of organization and in terms of co-financing the project. And maybe from my side, I would say that the possibility for a large corporation as Lafarge to fully, let's say, trust and delegate the development of such a complex system to Propergate, for which we were extremely happy, was as well a key success factor, as well linked to the fact that the Propergate team, both in terms of business knowledge and in terms of developing knowledge, was able always to support us. So thumbs up. I don't know if Anna or Robert want to add something here.
Robert, is your mic working?
Now,
Can
do you hear
yes
me?
or no?
Yes. The floor is yours.
Okay, so to sum up, the cooperation with Lafarge was quite interesting for us because we start from the workshop. A lot of people, a lot of ideas, a lot of new knowledge for us from the big company with big processes, complicated processes, and a lot of lawyers. And one startup that he wants to make everything simple for everybody. So we have some challenges for them, but supporting from Alessandro, Marcin, and everyone who was involved in this project was great. And we are thinking about next steps for our cooperation. So if I mind, I can give advice for every startups to not not avoid these big companies because they are very open, and the open innovation is for everybody, not for only for small companies.
I would add to that each company should have such a person like Alessandro, and really that's the spirit that such companies need from people who are engaged, who are very interested in improving processes in digitization. The experience we have also from other companies is that if there is a champion for change and this person is pushing internally and is best friends of the startup can develop in this company. And I agree with you, Robert. The program is really is opening eyes for the collaboration, for easy collaboration with corporates, and I think that Fundingbox is doing a really great job to connect those two different worlds, and the support they gave us and the framework for preparing how we should collaborate was really good. So I would really recommend startups to apply to the program and try, because this is the easiest way to actually get the best customers they could have. So I think maybe we can switch to the QA if we still have time. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Alessandro and Robert, Marcin. It was really inspiring and really nice presentation. And I really like your words on for advice for startups. I think it will be really useful. Also, like, we are recording this webinar, so I think after even after this session, like, startups will have a possibility to check it and get an inspiration out of this session. Yeah. So let me check the chat. I see one question. A question more related to the current context. Construction has always appeared to me as being a very manual sector, but to what extent can you actually automate, digitalize construction tasks, for instance, to prevent spread of COVID? At the same time, if you don't automate, I guess sanitary restrictions must take it very uncomfortable for workers to wear masks, etc. What can be done?
Well, I don't know, do you want to start, Alessandro?
It's a
Because
very
I have something in mind, so I can start. Well, what we can only look at what can be eliminated first, or people have direct contact through, and this something first are documents. So if we can eliminate documents and just show everything on a tablet or a phone, then we minimize this, touching the same thing, and minimize the risk of spreading the virus. If we are talking about same people working on the construction site, they still have to do their tasks. However, there is potential, of course, for tasks that could be done by robots, and we have now several solutions on the market that that can do it instead of people. But actually, they were not built for the purpose of replacing people in the situation when we have virus pandemic. So I think there are also technology solutions which are, for example, monitoring where people are located on the site, and whether they are too close to each other or they keep the safe distance. For example, there is a startup in Dubai, Wake Up. They have hard hats with sensors that will real-time send information about what I just said, this distance from other people. So there are mechanisms that either can restrict this relation between close relation between workers, or can just monitor and send some signals or notifications that the distance, the recommended distance, is not kept. But we always have to also use our heads to think what's necessary, and know how to keep safety.
Yeah, to this I would add 2 points. First point, I would say that there are solutions on the market which allow not only to optimize the logistic on site, but as well to plan, to better plan all steps and better coordinate the way stakeholders within a construction project cooperate from the beginning, from the ideation to the design phase, and then to the operations phase. And these solutions allow simply to coordinate, to enhance the coordination, accelerate the exchange of information, and so to reduce the need of physical meetings. And then when the meetings have to happen, then you can put these beacons, the sensors, which tell you, okay, to stay at a certain distance. So you can introduce zero paper solutions, e-signature solutions. So this is one thing. Additional thing what you can do to be sure that all, let's say, all actors on the job site comply with health and safety, at least the new health and safety requirements, is to install detectors, so intelligent detectors which allow through image recognition to spot on real time whether somebody on the job site is not behaving according to, for example, COVID regulations. And this is for what concerns the building site, the job site. The second thing I would say is that there's a lot to do as well in the building construction sector. So building materials, starting from concrete to cement, steel, and so on. And here we're working on similar projects. So reducing the contact between drivers which enter and exit the plant with materials and our let's say coordinators on site via the implementation of digital, for example, digital freight matchers and digital dispatch solutions. The possibility, for example, to make health and safety onboarding online via the phone, and integrate this with our systems. So there's really a lot of things that can be done. It's a very slow process, as Martin said. Construction is after agriculture, the second slowest and least innovative and R&D spending industry in the world. So the process is slow, but there's a lot that can be done, and the effects can be huge since the starting point is very low. The effect can be seen immediately. So there's a lot of hope.
Thank you, Alessandro. Thank you, Anna, for the answer. As I see, it was the only one question in the chats. Maybe someone else will ask something. Maybe
Ila, for the question.
Sorry.
It will be terrible to. I'm just thanking Ila for the question. It will be terrible to finish the presentation with 0 questions. At least we don't want.
No worries. Well, I think no one else wants to ask anything. So thank you so much for participating in this event, Funding Continue Today. It was really nice to have you here. I hope you enjoy it as well.
We did. Maybe I will just add one more thing for the members who don't feel like asking questions, or for those who are going to listen to the recording, let's say offline, to contact us, contact Propergate if they're interested in cooperation, or simply they want to approach a similar project. So cooperation with a large corporation in order to co-create a product or solution. For sure, they master perfectly, so they can give you good tips. And contact us if you Lafarge, not only Poland, in general Lafarge throughout the world. If you feel that you have a solution which could be implemented in our business and at our clients' sites, and we're going to be happy to talk. And of course, apply to Funding Box different acceleration programs around Europe.
Thank you, Alessandro. Thank you, Anna, Robert. Yeah, just to remind, this webinar will be recorded, so we will publish it in the Funding Box community, and also, of course, we will link Lafarge and Propergate, so you will be able to find links to their websites and and the contacts. So, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye. Thanks.